Podcast Network.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to episode 7657 of the Apollo Hour. It's me, Apollo Dez. We got Spaceman, and we got a distinguished guest today, Mr. Ben Onda.
I'm flattered.
Yeah. We have the guy who probably will be at Sundance in about 3 years' time. This guy creates magic.
Man, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. I guess, it's really just what I enjoy doing, and lucky for me, enough people enjoy it as well. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing it, I guess.
Exactly.
No reason not to at this point.
Right.
You got the notoriety. Got
This-
the rep.
Appreciate
This could be
that.
a snow apocalypse episode after last week.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Colin, how'd you fare?
I did okay. My power went out. I went over to Aunt Debbie's house. She had power. My Prius was slipping and sliding all over the road, along with everyone else. But she had power, but no water. So it was a trade off. I mean, we'd rather have warmth than be clean, I guess. We got drinking water from the store, so it's okay.
That's good. So for us, man, we lost power for about 48 hours, a little over 48 hours. Never lost water, thank God. So we were able to shower and stuff like that. It was cold when we got out, but me and the family, we just kind of just huddled up in front of the fireplace. So Center Point's probably about to bend me. So
Some of those horror stories, man.
No, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse, but it sucked. It was. I don't know why this keeps happening to our city, but it's just.
If it's not one thing, it's another.
No, exactly.
Yeah, I think the tweet that I saw that best summarized it was someone said, I could really go for some precedented times.
Right. No, absolutely.
One unprecedented thing after another. Someone was like, I could use
Absolutely.
some precedented times.
I saw there's a meme of that of Ben Affleck. He was like smoking a cigarette, and you just see he was just like exhausted, and it was like 80s and 90s kids after their 700 year storm, and he's just sitting there. I was like, that perfectly sums us all up right now.
It's cool though, because in a weird way, and I'm not going to say disasters are cool or anything, and this kind of even goes into what I want to talk about with the Astros, just as far as I don't want to say conspiracy about everything that's been just said about them with the media last year and everything, but our guys here, just especially Houston as a city, man, we're really a tight city.
100%.
We're really a close group. I mean, and it's weird because Southern hospitality is a real thing.
Yeah.
100%. And it's just it's really great to see just how everybody has kind of come to help us. I mean, even you guys with what y'all are doing with the, just raising money and everything. And what, I told y'all I had a little gift, and I don't know what y'all want to do with it, whether if y'all do raffles or anything, but I brought a little something here for you guys to put towards y'all's, towards the cause. But this is a Kyle Tucker autographed rookie card refractor.
Wow.
So you guys can kind of figure out what y'all want to do with this.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
that's
thank you so much.
just
man.
might be something to put towards just the cause. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
But
awesome.
no,
I
it's
appreciate
cool.
it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
for sure. Absolutely.
Colin, producer.
But I got a couple of those. So.
Yeah. No, that means a lot. Yeah, we're doing our when this comes out, obviously our 24-hour stream's done and over with, and I'm probably sleeping for 24 hours. But raising money for the community. That was one thing that we were sitting here thinking through and talking through, and it was obviously, like you said, the city stepped up, the superstar stepped up, and we originally had our 24-hour stream set up for last weekend, and then
I was supposed to come on last week.
Yeah, we were trying to get
Well,
for like 2 weeks.
I get a text from Dez. I'm like freezing, getting see my breath on my couch. Hey, we're gonna have to cancel this week. Oh yeah, okay. I think that's a good idea.
Ben was like, man, I was fucking hoping to come over and get some heat for a couple hours.
Yeah,
we had no power over here. I was like,
I don't think I could make it. But
messing that out.
Yeah.
But it's the whole concept was like, hey, what can we do? Obviously with Bregg's doing the water and the food bank, and Correa and Lance all stepping up, and John Wall and Harden even as well.
Right.
And we're like, what makes Apollo? And I've said it a million times, it's the community. And I was seeing through our Twitter feed and all this stuff, all these horror stories, pipes bursting, houses getting flooded out. There are people buying groceries, and all their groceries in their fridge went out. Obviously we talked about the power bills and water bills. I was sitting there, I was like, this is our own community hurting. What can we do to help them out? And we're like, let's pool money, let's get donations, let's use our brand for good, and let's help our people out, because they've been with us for the last year. This is a year anniversary podcast as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
By the way,
Appreciate
guys.
that.
It's really amazing to see how you guys have grown so much. You guys have grown a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, what initially kind of, and maybe I didn't fully understand the scope of what y'all were aiming for here, but if even just business in general, if you've lasted a year, that's a big hurdle to get over.
Yeah.
And I mean, just, continuing, and it doesn't look like the momentum's slowing down at all. So man, I'm like, I think it's really, that's why I was so excited to come on here too, because I think that just, who knows where y'all will be a year from now.
I mean, we started this thing last February and had no sports.
Zero sports.
Right.
Zero sports.
Right.
So we got a year to make up.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll actually have, stuff to talk about, stuff to make content with.
Right.
Just the same as you,
Sure. Yeah.
And the more notoriety that we gain, the more favor we'll get with some of the athletes in town, and just like you have done with Lance McCullers Jr., Deshaun Watson,
all your workout with Bregg's.
Man, yeah. See, I'll tell you, I guess, a little bit about maybe kind of how I got started.
Yeah,
so
let's dig into it.
So, for most who don't know who I am, I'm a videographer, a content creator, producer, brand developer. I'm kind of a jack of all trades with really anything that comes to video production media. And I've now been in business for, I'd say probably going on 3 years full time, but I've been creating videos for a really long time. The first video that I ever did of any notoriety was actually when I was in high school. And this was kind of like the early days of like really YouTube. This was in February of 2007. So if you think about this, this was when I was a junior in high school. And I did a highlight tape of my buddy Sam McGuffey.
Oh yeah, from Cy Creek?
Cy-Fair. Yes.
Are you the creator of the infamous hurdle?
I created the McGuffey mixtape.
That is
You did not.
I did.
That is the first viral YouTube video I think I've ever seen.
That's interesting though that you said that too, because like recently Bleacher Report actually did like a 15-minute spread. I'll see if I can find y'all the link.
Yeah.
But it's like, like a 15-minute read kind of thing, and they talked about how that video really kind of sparked like a multi-billion-dollar industry in a way. Now, I think that more so I don't want to take credit for that, but I think a little bit of luck was kind of, because if I hadn't done it, somebody ultimately would have. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you think about 3.2 million YouTube views in a world without smartphones, that's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah.
Just also too, because that meant you had to have watched it on a desktop computer.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And this video was so big that it caused, Pete Carroll to fly in to Houston from Southern California to come see this kid.
Yeah.
And it was big. It was a big deal.
Huge.
Yeah.
It was a really big deal.
That's awesome. I remember sitting there watching that on a fucking desktop.
Right.
The hurdle.
My cousin who played football against that kid at Cy Creek.
Cy Fair was where he. Oh,
Okay, my cousin played. For
that
Cy
was the
Creek.
hurdle game.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, and didn't he like do a flip over somebody or something? Anyway, my cousin emailed it to me. He goes, dude, you got to watch this video. I go, send me the link or tell me how to find it.
Yeah.
And he's like, type this in on YouTube and you'll find it. I remember watching that shit.
Yeah.
You made that.
That is
Made that.
amazing.
My name is on it. Yeah, my name.
It says Benny Boy.
Yeah, Benny Boy 88.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And but
we need the producers to quiet on the set.
but really what you know, and that opened a lot of doors for me in a way, just because I not only did I kind of, you know, just I was young, man. I was 16, I think. I was 15
What'd you
when
use
I
to
did
make that video?
I made that on Windows Movie Maker on my HP desktop computer that my grandmother got me for like my 12-year-old Christmas or something like that.
Thanks, Bill Gates.
And check this out. This was even kind of more impressive in a way, I feel. All of that footage was given to me on a VHS cassette. So I had to plug a VCR into this thing called a Dazzle, which is you plug the old red, white, and yellow S-video cords into a USB thing where it converts the footage into like an MP4 format or a MOV format. Had to have been MP4 probably, or MPEG even. And then I just, you know, built it off of that. And the tape was I mean, that kid was shredded that year. And I'm going to say this about Sam. I love Sam. Sam is a good person, bro. And I think that Sam is probably, you know, actually more of a better athlete than he is even a football player. And he was a great football player.
He's an Olympian.
Athlete and Olympian.
Yeah.
And bobsled.
Bobsled.
His story really has like a Hollywood kind of script.
Could literally make a movie.
And it's amazing. Just even all the stuff that happened to him, but I digress. What had happened with that video was it really kind of showed me, man, I love this.
Yeah.
You know, because like sports is my passion, man. Like I love sports. I'm so competitive, bro. If you follow me on Twitter, I think anybody could probably know that. But you know, really, and I would come to find through the videos and stuff, that was how I could get closer to the game, you know, because obviously God didn't bless me with the height, the speed, the strength, but he did, you know, give me this ability to kind of put these things together with my computer and tell these stories, and I can get closer to the game through that in a way. But you know, it takes some finessing, it takes some social skills and really, you know, networking to an extent, but also too, like, you know, just putting yourself out there. Like, what's the worst that can happen? They say no.
Yeah, that's exactly the worst answer.
They don't like it.
So how did you get in with all these?
So really what happened was at first, hold on one second. Really what had happened was at first, Andre Johnson still is my hero, man. I mean, like he's, you know, I just think that he's my role model, bro. Like just everything about that guy is, just impressive to me. And I just, you know, I want to be like him kind of, you know, just not in like a crazy way or nothing like that, but just like he's my hero. He's my childhood hero, you know? And, my buddy, my best friend, Tommy Tyler, shout out Tommy, his dad was head of security for the Texans for a really long time, like from like 2002, the first year that we were a team, to like, I don't know if he's still doing it. I don't think maybe in some capacity, but anyways, he developed a really great friendship with Andre and Andre's camp, like his uncle Dre, you know, throughout that whole process. And Andre's brother, my dog Pope, shout out Pope. And we got connected because him and Tommy were good friends and everything. And they had this thing called Team 80, which was like their deal that they kind of, you know, were putting together for him, just like a little kind of mini branding project type thing.
Team CJ correct?
Exactly. Right. Kind of, yeah. But except we had the logo and all that stuff. And so what I started doing is I started kind of just making, you know, little clips like every Sunday for game days on, if you go to Team 80's Instagram, they're still out there. This was like 2014, 2015. And, you know, I just, through that, I started developing even a closer relationship with them. And then also too, a buddy of mine, Dose, who,
What up, Dose?
What up, Dose?
What up, Dose?
I started doing, he's a trainer in the city, and he has like, a bunch of athletes that he trains. And I used to do a lot of work with them, and now I kind of, I don't do as much work with Dose. Got nothing but love for Dose, but I don't do as much work with Dose now just because, I got a family and I kind of just have to, I'm doing a lot more stuff with small businesses, and I can tell any story of anything.
Yeah.
I'm confident in my abilities. I've been able to, execute on that level for a while now. But anyways, so through working with Dose, through working with Dre, I got kind of plugged into that scene.
Yeah.
And I was able to really, but really what had worked for me was really kind of just letting the product speak for itself in a way, and a lot of the time I wasn't making any money.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily trying to make any money.
your
I just love doing it.
Yeah.
And it's still is. I still love doing it.
It almost seems like you've been able to be on the ground floor of like every big movement, like the early YouTube days of the Sam McGuffey viral video, and then the first branding of athletes. Now every athlete has their camp and
Sure.
but then at that time, a lot of people didn't have that, and it was you've been able to show off your work, and like you said, it's your passion, so you've been able to grow with it, and that's amazing to see.
And I still got a ton of room to grow. You never stop growing, really, when it comes to being a creative. You know what I mean? Like, any artist would tell you that. Any athlete would tell you that. Nobody's going to bat 1,000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's going to throw a touchdown on every single pass attempt. You're not going to make every single 3-pointer you take. So it's a constant just process of just trying to learn and grow and get better, and just, obviously there's bumps on the way. I mean, it's hard. It took a long time.
Yeah.
I graduated later from U of H, you know what I mean? Like, and I essentially ate shit for, God, I don't even know. At first 8 years I was doing this. Didn't make $1.
Yeah.
But then now, I've been able to, I support my family doing this, I got the best job in the world, in my opinion, just because I love it so much. And being able to work with these guys is just, it is a dream come true in a way, and just, I love telling their stories because, like, if I could, man, if I had the abilities, that's what I would want to do.
Yeah.
I would want to be
Everyone, everyone's in the backyard growing up, hitting the Game 7 World Series, making that last throw to win the Super Bowl.
But what's even more special about it, too, with what I'm doing now, I'm able to now, like, even live vicariously through these guys, even more so than I would have just being a fan, because I've gotten to kind of see what they've been through. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, just, it's really just a magical process, man. And I'm just grateful that people care enough and to watch them, and it's my brand is, I guess, or my, just my notoriety is able to grow enough to where I can continue to do it.
Yeah. I think the first video I saw, well, obviously the Sam McGuff video, I did not know until today, which is crazy revelation. But the first video I saw was the Harvey video you made during the World Series.
That's my largest video I've ever done.
That's the first time I saw your work.
I did a video on Facebook, not of the Astros video. The Astros Harvey video is what you're referring to.
Correct.
Okay. That might be, I don't know, that's probably my favorite video I've ever done.
Absolutely.
So special, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, it's so special. Like, I was kind of like tearing up through that editing process, bro. Like, it was real, like, personal to me, But I did a video before that was on Facebook. It was the only place I actually released it because it was longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So you got that dog shit rule.
Twitter rule.
Yes. And some people are able to figure out a way around it. I don't know how to figure out a way around it. Like, I saw Dave Portnoy posted a video the other day, and he's not verified, by the way. He's not. And he had like a 3-minute, 30-second video that he was posted. But anyways, again, I digress. I made a video about the city during the hurricane.
Okay.
I didn't lose power or anything during the hurricane. And I was able to edit. The timing was really crucial on this. This video, I think on Facebook, has little over 14 million views, dude. And I have a theory Because if you look at it, I think that had a lot. I plugged JJ Watt's "You Caring" thing link during. I have a theory that helped a little bit. You know, I'm not trying to take credit but if you because I had hundreds. I'm not kidding you, hundreds, if not thousands, of direct message requests from people all over the world asking how they can help Houston. And I'm just like, here, just donate to this link. You know, I trust that JJ's probably, not going to squander this or do something sketch. And, but I made a video and it had like an Adele song and the
you probably
Hometown
raised
Glory.
$1 million yourself.
Easily.
If you... Because I tried to do a little bit of analytic, statistical crunching. I'd have to imagine that it had a significant impact.
Yeah.
I mean, just because the timing was everything, and it was. I mean, it's a special video. I mean, like if you go back and watch it, if you were on Facebook, even if you don't remember it, if you were on Facebook and lived in Houston during Hurricane Harvey, there's probably a 95% chance you saw that video.
Yeah.
Everybody was sharing it.
I mean, I probably scrolled by it, but
Right.
no, I'm kidding.
right. But
Contrarian Colin stepping in.
But no,
I'm trying to take this guy down. He's getting a little too pumped on his own work.
14 million. I mean, I think the greatest thing is like you said, being able to be with the athletes, and that's what we've done with Apollo the first years, like making connection with them and hearing them out, and getting merchandise, and I plugged it in my blog when. The first what the fuck moment I had is when Colin he texted me. He was like, "Hey, check our DMs," and that's all he said. And I pull it up. I'm like, "Shit, slants, okay." And then he's like talking about, "Hey, can I get this shirt, like the H Sound versus Everyone shirt?" And then we started talking about getting his tattoo on a t-shirt, and it was just like, truly, I was like, this is what I've envisioned, and now that it's coming to fruition.
It's manifestation, bro.
It's crazy.
And it's real.
This is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Josh's creations.
That's dope.
Curveball.
Fucking nasty.
Yeah, I need one of those, bro.
Yeah.
We'll get you one.
Yeah, that's dope.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
And you made a gift of it
But
too.
that's really what it is, bro. It's manifestation.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like, sometimes you can't underestimate the work that's necessary to get to these places. But if you go through the motions and go through the steps and you take and you have that vision and you can see it's real. It happens, bro.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, they see the final product. They see the 2 minute, 20 minute, 20
minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah, whatever it is on Twitter. I don't know it, but I see the work that they put in and the work that you put in behind the scenes, and it's a process. But I see the end result was like, that was an amazing video, but people don't realize all the hard work you put in, all the vision, everything. It's
a
crazy.
Lot. It's a lot,
especially when you live where we live and you got to drive into town every time you're getting some footage.
Right. Well, a lot of that's true. But it's just work. Yeah. I mean, it's
fun too, though.
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. But I think that just the whole process. It's like I said earlier. It's a nonstop growth process. It's it's never ending. There is no end game.
Yeah.
There's always something you can do better. Always something you can make better. And so I think that's really the key. But yeah, man, enough about me. Let's talk about the landscape of this shit show that is Houston sports.
It's something.
It is.
I mean, let's go with. You want to go Rockets first?
Let's go Rockets. I'm down with that.
Might as well get it out of the way.
What,
It's
9?
already turning red.
9 games?
You can see it. You can
9 games?
We've lost 9 in a row.
Well, and the fun part was they won 6 in a row, and now they're on a 9-game losing streak.
and
that's 15
I think
games.
it was your tweet.
Yeah.
Your tweet was like,
said
we're back, and then 9. There's nothing but back since.
So they lost Wood. Wood went out.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Right?
That was a bad beat.
That's a bad beat, and obviously, way more impact on the court than anyone thought. I mean, not really, but I mean, goddamn. And then they go on and they release Boogie. All right.
Let him go, I guess.
What did they do?
Here's the thing, man. When it comes to the Houston Rockets, James Harden was let go. Okay, that and I'm gonna just be honest, and this is real, this is a fact. The fact that when we let James Harden go, we let any chances of doing anything in the postseason go.
100%.
And that's okay. That's okay, I guess. But it's okay. It really is. Because I think that the return that we got back, I'm happy with it. It's just, with James's attitude like that and what everything happened, even though James, he's getting, I guess it'd be fun to watch James win, but at the same time, I don't know, man. I kind of hope I hope they kind of beat him, dude. Like, just how he did it, like it's
a sour taste.
It's a weird dynamic. I'm grateful to have witnessed James Harden. Okay,
that is a statement. Yep, that is a statement.
I am grateful to that now other people are able to see night in and night out, because he's probably in the New York media now, is how great James Harden is.
Well,
his greatness
has been.
His greatness is so even still, because there hasn't been enough time that he's been in that major media hub. But his greatness is still vastly underrated. He is one of the greatest scorers to have ever lived.
Play
well,
in the
not only
association.
that, what's hilarious to me is he's gone to Brooklyn and he's playing well, like he's always played well when he didn't have one foot out.
And
the
that
door.
narrative
All right,
shifts.
okay, and then all of a sudden the media is like, man, look at this guy. Like, motherfucker, he's been playing like that for 8 years.
He can facilitate. He can pass.
And the best thing about the internet is there's always receipts.
Right.
And we've been pulling them. We've been pulling them.
Yep. And that's the thing, too. Like, I mean, just because of what he is, I mean, you could argue, especially with the injuries to KD, I would make the case that James Harden's probably the best player on the Nets.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And KD is KD, but James Harden is that level of player.
Yeah.
He is a top 3. He should have at way more than what he only has one MVP.
One.
He's
got robbed of 2.
Robbed.
I mean, like the Russell Westbrook year. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And Russ.
18.
But all this being said about James Harden's greatness, I think he could have been greater, and I think that he did not do everything that he could have done to bring a championship to Houston. And I know that that's hard to say. That's easy for me to say from my high horse, right?
Yeah.
So, but the truth of the matter is, like, just all the things you hear about the strip clubs, the just staying extra days in LA when they're on a road trip, things like that. Now, it didn't matter because he could still go out the next night and drop 50 points.
Easily.
But what if he hadn't done that stuff?
Yeah.
What if he really had just locked in and kind of is there even another level that he would have been capable of? I mean, those are the things that I really kind of just asked myself. And, we did see him, in order to win a championship, sometimes that next level has to be reached by whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we saw Kawhi do it with Toronto. We saw Kawhi do it even with the Spurs back in the day. But LeBron does it every year.
Yeah. LeBron just turns it on.
But I just think that, but still, at the end of the day, in any of these sports, it takes a full team to win a title. And you can't just.
Ask Steph Curry.
Right.
Yeah.
He's been like full lately.
Right. He is great.
And I think the crazy thing is, and the narrative shift from Houston James Harden doing what we've seen for the last 7-8 years to Brooklyn James Harden, which is the same, actually a lesser extent because he had better nights and better stats.
And you're having national pundits basically say, "Oh, this is the best version of James Harden we've ever seen."
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm just kind of like, okay, this is really just the same James Harden that
Y'all
we've
turned
always
the TV
seen.
on before.
Right.
He's been doing this shit for his whole career, especially in Houston.
If Brooklyn falls short and they don't win, I'm very curious if that national media continues the shit piling on James Harden, or are they going to coddle him and be like, it wasn't his fault?
Yeah,
And
that's
what I'm really interesting to see.
That's a good point.
They'll make excuses.
Yeah,
maybe so, and that would be that's just hypocrisy at its finest. But anyways, with hypocrisy at its finest is a good segue into the Houston Astros, which we can get there in one moment. But I think moving forward with the Rockets, you have to look at the Rockets season for what it is right now, okay? To be honest, losing is probably in our best interest. And
Tank for Cade.
or the best we can get. We got so as a sports fan of Houston sports, I want to win a championship.
Yes.
I'm not happy with like, okay, yeah, we can get to the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to win a championship every season. And I know that, but I also realize that that's not possible every season. Right now, that is not possible with the Houston Rockets. So what I think that we just need to kind of do is just understand that this is going to be a process. We can let Raphael Stone.
Can we trust the process? Shout out Maury.
Right.
Golly.
You know, and I think that I hope so.
Yeah.
We don't really have a choice. I mean, you know, that we got Pat Fertitta at the helm, but I think that there are some good things to be excited. I think Kevin Porter Jr. can be a star.
Like, why haven't they just? I mean, they don't want to bring him up because if it's off the court antics.
Yes,
I think they're.
But I mean, bring the fucking guy up. It's not like a service time thing like
I agree.
baseball, right?
I
Like,
agree
get him
with
up
you.
there.
I agree with you.
Who cares?
I agree with you.
They're getting
But
their ass kicked.
I think at the same time, you got to think about the incentives here. What is the incentive to bringing Kevin Porter Jr. up? Kevin Porter Jr. alone, even if he just hits this God level, like, we're not going to win a championship this year. We can't.
But people might watch the games.
People might watch the games,
I'm
but
not
do
watching
I
when they
care
lose
if the
9 in
people
a row.
watch the game? I want to win.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Yeah, I hear you.
I want to win a championship. And what's going to get us the closest to winning a championship is getting all the pieces aligned
Getting
to
a
where we
top
can
four
win
pick.
that championship.
Yeah.
What's that?
Getting the top 4 pick. And
Sure.
we've screwed ourselves because OKC pretty much has us in a tight spot, because if we don't get that top 4 pick, it goes to them, and that's going to be
That
not
would suck.
great.
That would suck.
But that'd be heartbreak Houston, right? If we get like the 5th pick and it goes, right to OKC. But
Guess what? Heartbreak Houston. You just jinxed it right there.
hey,
guys.
it's gonna happen.
Probably gonna happen now.
We can clip that and we'll go viral. I just want to go viral. That's all I want to do.
Colin, you're funny.
How about when Ribbert sat right here and said, James Harden is going to finish this 2021 season as a Houston Rocket, blah, blah, blah. And he fucking went on one of his fucking hot
tangents.
take rant. And boy, was he fucking wrong.
He was wrong.
And, he loves the Rockets. That man bleeds the Rockets.
Sure.
I know he's sitting up and he's got a baby on the way and everything, so we don't see him as much as we used to. But he's like, I'm sure he's sitting his ass on his couch just going, motherfucker. Like, and he always bobs his head when he's talking. He goes, that motherfucker went down there. He didn't put no fucking effort into the fucking paint. And that's how.
And that's another thing too, that what could have been is like, I gotta believe too that if James Harden would have fully bought in, we'll never know.
Yeah.
If he would have fully bought in with
big
this
would've.
roster, who knows what would have happened? It could have been better than this. I have to believe that, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's water under the bridge. I guess. Good luck to you, James. It was great watching you.
Yeah.
But I don't like. It's hard for me to root for him as a person. And I've been around him a couple times. I'm not going to badmouth the guy, but he's
a few weeks ago,
he could have been more professional about a few different
Yes.
things, and I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, we sat here and talked about what stage of grief we were in after he left a few weeks ago. And
It's not as much as I thought it would be.
yeah, I'm still kind of in the angry phase.
Sure.
Like you said, it was a privilege to watch him play. I loved watching him play and score. And really trigger the haters. I think that was what he did best.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. And he was he was
stuck that foot
ours,
out.
bro. He was Houston's. He's still ours, I feel, almost in a way. Even though he's on the Brooklyn Nets. He's ours. We caped for him, bro.
We
Big time.
rode and literally died for him.
That's what I'm saying.
We figuratively died.
And I think that, now that he's gone, it's just
literally.
kind of like we're a part of the cesspool now.
Yes.
And that's a fact, bro. Did you just see what the Cavs did to us last night? Like, we're the worst 3-point shooting team in the NBA.
And last 2 seasons, they were top
top
2?
5. Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
I
And
think
it's-
the parts are there, Wood and Salas, and Stone's been doing a heck of a job on the fly. Like you said, the thing is to get the top.
Too early to know.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that I like I really, and I'm just the Kevin Porter Jr. thing. Don't underestimate this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Because he can be special.
yeah.
Very special.
Yeah.
Like,
And him
it's
and
just, we
Wood?
got to make, yes.
you know,
that is a core
You can build around
compete
that.
with.
You can build around that.
Like, so you just got to make sure whatever we got to do to make sure that he is right, mentally ready. Just that's fine. I'll trust the process with that. And I guess I don't really care if we win games. Great, it's fun. We can watch it. Maybe make a run at the 8th seed, whatever. If not, you know, we can. And if we lose, I'm happy about that too. I'm kind of just indifferent.
Yeah,
right now.
indifferent.
You know, just it is what it is. I'll watch the Rockets always. You know, but I don't. My expectations are non-existent. You know, for right now. But for the future, I think we can be great if we do the right things.
Yeah, and Lachard talked about it on the Launchpad podcast of the Apollo Network, and he was talking about how head coach comes in, GM comes in. They came in thinking they were going to have Westbrook and Harden.
Right.
Now they're both gone.
Right.
So and
Poor Silas.
Sign up for you.
people are calling for
Poor
their heads.
Silas.
And Lachard is like, dude, it's too easy to tell. I mean, they're too early. Not easy. It's too early to tell. I mean, they're what are they? 30-something games into the season, and half of them you got a lollygagging James Harden who had his one foot out the door, and the rest they've had as of last night, I think 19 different starting rosters.
That's
Most in the NBA.
sounds like
it's
a
a
team down the road.
How are you going to have any
successful.
consistency when you don't even have a
Exactly.
consistent
and
starting
you
roster?
can't. I will say this though before moving on. John Wall, man, I like that guy.
Oh yeah,
I like him.
He's embraced the city.
I'm much more of a fan of John Wall the person than I am of James Harden the person. You know, and that's not obviously like I know that's kind of just a weird parallel to make, but it's like I would probably enjoy, like, let's say we went on this magical run. I would probably find more joy off of watching John Wall lead us to a championship.
Coming up two gruesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Terrible injuries.
But it's also the way that he operates, just like a pro. I wish that James would have done that more. And I'm seeing, and James is a pro. I mean, it's just, you know, there's bitterness in me also too, but it's just because I know that there could have been. I feel like he had another year. I feel like he could have done more, and just how he went out the door.
It sucks.
It hurt, man.
Yeah, I think.
But it's okay.
I think the
moved on.
The thing that you touched on with fans, you know, you when the season starts, when players report to training camp, where basketball players, you know, come to training camp, the guys go down to West Palm, like you expect a championship, right? As a fan,
Right.
this
Why
year, that's just that a fan is a fanatic, right? You just
We
expect
got
a
a
championship,
chance.
and it didn't really set in for me until I was in downtown and covered in confetti, and I'm addicted to championship parades. Like I literally want a championship parade. Like I am I'm fiending. I am searching
Right.
for what I felt that day.
Yeah.
No phone service. You're just vibing with the city.
Hell yeah. I didn't get to
Confetti
go.
was
Oh, I was
everywhere.
mad.
And I was just like, I've been searching for that feeling for 4 years now. And I just
Sure.
like, someone needs to someone step up and bring it back. And we've been so damn close with the team right down the road at Midway Park. And, you know, the bad boys of baseball
Right.
and this
Yeah.
cheating scandal that was league-wide, that was pinned on us. We can talk about it. But
No,
I really
we will.
feel like this is the year. I think
We're gonna win.
We can win it all this year.
We're gonna win.
You
We're
know
gonna
what?
win it all.
You know what's
Book it.
Now that's a fact.
You know
Take it
what's-
to Vegas. Go right now. Look, Uncle Des. Hey, go get your mortgage payment. Go to Vegas. Put it on the Astros, and then you know, in October, me and you will go down to the beach. We'll celebrate the winnings. We'll have a great time. This is not financial advice. Please
There's
don't
gonna
do that.
be so many little crybaby, whiny little bitches, dude, across the MLB landscape, the fanscape. It's gonna be so much fun.
what I'm
gonna
looking
be so
forward to
much
most?
fun.
All these young dudes, fucking starters and out of the pen. Holy shit! Did they show up last year?
They were amazing.
It was
And they were in
incredible.
the fire.
They really were.
Dude, they were in high leverage situations, pitching calmly,
Yes.
striking out playoff caliber teams.
Luis Garcia in a must-win game. Luis Garcia.
No runs.
We had no idea
No
who this cat
runs.
was. He's out there.
It was super stressful.
super stressful.
But hey, no runs.
Hey, that's what.
You know?
Do you remember when fucking they tried to frame her out on the World Series?
People
No.
forget.
And he was lights out for like 6 innings. How long did he stand?
In the World Series.
in 19.
Yeah.
Oh.
Framber got innings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking Urquidy. He gave you 5 shutout on the road.
Yeah.
He
Jose
gave you
Urquidy.
5 shutout on the road in Washington. Yeah, he was nails.
Dude, that was
Change up
nuts.
though.
Fromber. There's so many different things that you need to. I'm going to start with this too. Okay, I think that what had happened last year, and this is the thing too that I think a lot of people really aren't fully grasping. Last year, we weren't ever at full strength.
No.
Okay. I'm talking about even the players that were healthy. Okay. The mental toll that this witch hunt bullshit took on our guys, you know, future Hall of Famers, first ballot Hall of Famers in Jose Altuve, for example.
Correct.
The mental toll, like having those because of the media and their fucking
Witch hunt.
just stupid, pathetic, like pussy ass like agenda that they have towards, because the problem at the end of the day was that we were too good. The Houston Astros, what Jeff Luhnow built this fucking juggernaut that was beating everybody at all aspects of the game. And they were paying less to do it. And they just could not fucking handle that. And that's why whenever they found out that this cheating scandal, this sign stealing, like they took that, and then they're going to say that that's the reason, that's the pure reason for all of our success.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding
Not
me?
the 5
We're on the
superstars.
fucking road.
That's
the
the
only.
World Series on the road.
That's the only.
We're on the World
thing
Series
that you
on the
need to-
road.
that you need to say to me is, look at the fucking home away splits. That's all you need to look at.
Those guys, you know, you see that little clip of like John Boy jerking off his little like Aaron Boone. Oh yeah, they're savages in the box. Not against the Astros. We fucking own them.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Since 2015, they can't see us. The AL goes through Houston still until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Period.
5 years in a row.
Period.
We're the gold standard.
We're the gold standard of baseball.
And
Like it is, and we've done it with less.
Yes.
And they've tried to shit on us so badly. They shit on Jose so badly, man, that he couldn't throw to first base.
Well, it came out yesterday, day before. The guys were talking to the press at spring training and said that Altuve had some deaths in his family.
yeah, no one even knew about.
And it wasn't public knowledge, and that was part of it.
These guys are
You know,
humans. People don't.
Dude,
they're
and
freaking
exactly.
humans.
And it's really
beings.
nobody's fucking business what they're going through off the field.
Amen.
But people try and drag their personal lives in. And I'm not talking about these domestic violence people. Okay, that's
Right.
totally warranted. But when
Sure.
someone has a death in the family and it's they don't need to tell the fucking media about that.
No.
Altuve can have his problems on the field.
Not at
and
all.
People are going to call it the yips or whatever they want to call it. He looked like trash in the batter's box too.
He was bad last year.
He had some terrible fielding mistakes that
honestly
probably
cost us a chance at the World Series.
That's what I honestly think.
Game
if those,
2
those
was
plays were made. He makes that first throwing error. 2 more runs come in on that.
But his bat was there. His bat was there in
His bat
October.
was there in the post.
But you can't get over those errors.
Not to the extent that we're used to seeing it, though. I mean, he was just kind of like really a shell of himself the
Yeah, I think
entire
that's
season. And you know what? And in a sense, and I'll speak on this too, just because I know him personally, and he's a great friend of mine. But Bregman, man, Alex had a tough time
Yeah.
with everything. And look, they did this. They did it. What they did was wrong. Okay. But like anybody that's in baseball knows baseball, understands the inner workings of this. It's not fair what happened to the Astros. It's not fair.
100%.
You think about this too. Alex Bregman, for example, 2017, that year. This was his, he was a rookie.
He's a rookie.
What the fuck's he going to say to Carlos Beltran?
Yeah.
What the fuck's he going to do?
Exactly.
Is he going to just, you're going to say this to a 20-year vet or whatever? Like, even though he's trying to push it? Like, I mean, dude, he was just going with the flow.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, too, also, you look in 2019, the year that he was runner-up MVP. You know what I mean? That's Alex Bregman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that it hurt him. It hurt him in a way mentally because that guy works. He really is. I know that everybody says, you know, the pros, like they all work. So Alex Bregman works hard, bro. He works fucking hard. He is literally in the cage every single day. Yeah. Every single day taking hacks.
Dude, look how much muscle he put on in the offseason, dude. It's incredible.
Bro, because he's fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
He's tired of the bullshit. It's personal.
I think maybe MVP year.
It's personal.
Dude,
MVP year for him.
He was complaining about something about his swing mechanics last year. He said he wasn't locked in, and he's been working on it. And he's been fucking in the gym, and he's mad. And that was probably true too, but it was a mental thing for him, you know. And I just, you know, I won't dive too deeply into that, but I mean, he was really struggling just from a mental standpoint of like what that all of that criticism and everything from strangers, bro, like death threats, calling it, like basically saying that everything that he had worked his entire life for to mold himself into that freakish athlete with that skill set that he worked his entire life to develop, that it was fraudulent.
Yeah. And it was fraudulent, bro.
No, that's bullshit.
I think the big thing about it, and you see it, if you look at Tony's data, and we'll link it below, Altuve didn't use it. Bregman, as a rookie, is that the gentleman that was on Ben Ryder's podcast?
Yeah,
he's part of the Apollo family. He was the one that calculated the base.
I will say this, and you know, with all due respect to him, I think that's great that he did the data and everything. I have to vehemently disagree with him on the fact that you know, when he was asked by Ben Ryder about if he thinks that championship was legitimate, like he said he didn't. Yeah. You know? Okay.
I think it's each personal.
I don't. I think we won that thing fair and square. We did not cheat in the playoffs.
Since he recorded that, he did tell us he's changed his mind about that.
Yeah. Well then, bravo to him.
After he had more time to think about it.
Bravo to him.
But I think
it might have also been some pressure maybe from Ben Ryder's kind of just like narrative that he was, even though I enjoyed that podcast, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
It was very informative, but I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
About that guy, especially because you could hear in his voice how much that the Astros meant to him. They probably mean the same to him that they do to us.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think that to hear him say that he didn't think that we earned that hurt. That kind of hurt me in a way because to think that like other people that. Bro, that is the 2017 Astros, and I will say this: that's not even the 2019
was the greatest Astros team
was maybe one of the greatest baseball teams ever to live, dude. Like they did, but you know what? That's just part of the game. In baseball. Credit to the Nationals, man.
100%. They were hot and they rode that wave, and
it was the biggest fluke World Series.
No doubt. You play that 7-game series 10 times over, we'll win 9 out of 10 times.
That was the one. That was the Dr. Strange moment.
Weird, just weird, you know. But regardless, you can't take away that 2017 title and the magic, bro. We beat the Red Sox, the Dodgers, and the Yankees. And y'all don't think we pissed some people off.
I guarantee you. I've said it a million times, and I'll die on this hill. If we would have beat the Twins, we would have beat the Orioles, and we would have beat the Cubs. No one would have. We'd be a darling team. No one would have said anything about the Chiefs.
We would have been such a darling team. It would have been such a fun Cinderella story.
Exactly.
You know, and it was even at that time. But then we kept fucking winning.
Yeah,
and we've kept fucking winning.
And I think the thing that really just hurts the most, and the thing with looking at the data of Altuve not using it, Bregg's not using it. They were the ones that stepped up in spring training last year
because they had to.
Because they are the leaders. That's what leaders do.
Because Crane, look, dude, Crane. I think Crane has done a good job with the Astros. Okay, like overall since he's been there. But oh my God, did he not fumble the Luhnow situation? It's awful what happened to Jeff Luhnow. Yeah. It's awful what happened to Jeff Luhnow. He was wrong for what he did. Okay, now James Click, there's still. Time has to pass before I can give that a grade, but I still will say right now it's a mistake. You should not have let Jeff Luhnow go. What he was able to build was more was the most impressive. I mean, just how he built our system, it was pure sheer genius.
Yes.
It should be a case study.
Absolutely.
I mean, for what he did.
It should be a standard blueprint for any sports organization that wants to from be at the bottom
unless
of the
you've
pyramid.
got unlimited funds.
Yes. Unless you're just buying players,
Like
this
the
should be the case study for every organization. And I think you're going to see it in about 5 years' time. We'll come back in 5 years' time. The Baltimore Orioles, all hit Jeff's guys went over there before before the ship was taken on water. And Baltimore's doing the same thing that the Astros did. So I think Baltimore
They got Adley Rutschman.
Yeah, they're coming around the corner with that same little blueprint. But going into the season this year, I think the guys are in a, like you said, in a good
much
headspace.
much better headspace.
They're in a great headspace. They
and
have
we get my guy King Jordan back. Oh, praise his glory.
He's like a Greek mythology
He's
story.
a god.
Dude, you lose Springer's bat in fielding, obviously.
It sucks.
But
It hurts. Love you, George, forever.
Yeah, and you get Jordan back in there though. So, I mean, through the
Tucker.
lineup at the plate,
man.
Tucker came to life last season. Am I
He was
right?
our best. Hey, he was our best hitter during the regular season.
Dude, he was, and dude, it's funny that everyone always makes this fucking joke. When they come to spring training, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in the best shape of my life," and they say the same shit every year. Right?
You can see it with
Well,
Tucker.
guess what? Tucker looks like he's in the best shape of his
Same
life.
with Bregman, dude.
Dude,
Yeah, they both look.
Bregman's looking jacked. Aledmus Diaz lost 10 pounds. Whatever.
And Uncle Mike is back, baby.
And Yuli lost
Oh,
some
my
weight.
God,
Yuli was looking a little slow last year. His fielding was fantastic, but his base running, he was slow.
He had a bad case
really-
of just finding barrels to gloves.
He really hurt, especially like if you look like in game 7, even, dude.
Yeah.
Did he hit in 2 double plays in that game? In that same game?
I think he hit I think it was 4 in between game 5 and
He
game 7.
could not catch a break at all, really, the whole year.
We were saying that the Rays gloves were just in the right spots, which give credit where credit is
For
due.
sure.
They were lined up in the perfect spots. That being said, all the Astros were tattooing those balls.
No doubt.
They were massive exit velocity.
Greg's had 5 velos over 100?
Josh posted a picture of the baseball savant screenshot of the exit velocity, and it was like the Astros had 10 hard hit balls over 100 miles an hour off the bat, and I think 8 of them were caught.
Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah,
No, it was a master
they were
class of
stroking
fielding.
the balls. They were just the Rays were in the right spots.
Joey Wendell at third base when was at third, right? For the
Low.
Brandon Lowe at second. Wendell was at third, right? Yeah, he was a vacuum. Over
And
there, man.
Randy
Like-
Mickey Mantle Rosarito was just
whoa.
all of a sudden Mickey Mantle
on,
was stepping in the plate. Like, dude, he did it to the Yankees too.
Dude, he was. It was like
the Dodgers as well.
it was 002 Bonds shit, dude. Like
literally walking with bases loaded. Like, do not pitch to this guy.
That one home run that he hit that was like a screaming line drive into the front row.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard at that. I'm like, dude,
if the Rays
how many
didn't have
ballparks does that go out in?
right.
Number one. Number two, that ball was it looked like it was going 150 fucking miles
Right,
an hour.
no
off the bat.
doubt.
And he reached down like this to get it.
I wish there was a cutout there just to see the cutout
Yeah.
just like
Dude, it just would've gone-
If the Rays didn't have Randy Arozarena on their team last season, the Astros won that series in 5 games.
That's the same with Howie Kendrick the year before.
Sure. I mean, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. That's baseball,
and
baby.
Jackie Bradley Jr.
Jackie Bradley
That's-
Jr. with the Red Sox.
Yes, that's baseball.
That's baseball, baby.
That's
Like you
baseball.
said.
It is, and I can live with that. Respect to the Rays.
If you're knocking
You know,
up,
but-
if you're playing for a pennant, that is the goal, right?
The key to baseball, especially with like the real seasons and real championships, unlike the one that the Dodgers just won. I think that
the Mickey Mouse Championship.
yes, the fake season championship. But congratulations, and they actually had to cheat to do that. By the way, I just want to make this quick point. It has been proven already that in the 2017 playoffs, the Astros did not cheat.
100%.
Correct. I am correct. It has been proven that in the 2020 playoffs, the Dodgers knowingly breaking COVID protocols, letting Justin Turner play third base is a rule violation. Am I wrong?
No,
They're not.
It's just facts. Okay? Don't shoot the fucking messenger. It's a fact. Right?
He was
So they
breaking
cheated.
protocol.
They cheated, right? What they were accusing us and whining like little baby bitches for 3 fucking years. They still care more about our championship than their own
Than their
fake
Mickey
little,
Mouse championship.
fake little clown one. You know. So it's true that they cheated to win theirs and we did not. Am I right or wrong? I don't care about the facets, black and white, right or wrong.
correct.
You're correct. Could you imagine Justin Turner hitting a walk-off home run?
That's what I'm saying.
Also-
Could you also imagine had the Dodgers lost that game?
Yeah.
What would have happened?
The whole season would have. I think there's a conspiracy theory within that. The league was like, "Oh my god, this series needs to end
he
today
got his
because
positive results in the 7th inning of Game 7. Like,
and then
what?
you have Manfred, dude. It's congratulations to the Dodgers on their
Here's your hunk of metal.
and being booed.
Yes.
And he was shook. He was just sitting there, just like,
Bro, and they
shook.
booed him because we live in their minds.
100%.
Bro. We live in their minds.
It's like they've never seen
And you
a
know what?
mob
I
movie with
fucking
the
love
union.
it.
Yeah.
I want it to be this. This is what Tom Brady feels. This is what Patriots fans feel.
Yeah. People
We win
forget
so
they
much,
cheated.
so they hate us.
Exactly.
And because they can't accept that, we had to have been cheaters, and that has to be the fucking reason that this is even possible, right? They have to justify it in their brains like that,
Yeah.
and it's just a fact. It's not wrong. Like it's hard for me to deal with though because it's like last year. But you know what? I've now come to probably the same point that the Astros players have. Like fuck it. We don't care.
Oh, dude,
we're
they-
champions.
fuck it
Kiss the
anyways.
ring. We're champions for forever.
They're gonna
Like,
get booed.
blow me.
They're gonna get booed
I love it.
to fucking hell.
But I think they're in a better
And
headspace to take it.
Dude, everyone's like, oh yeah, they're gonna get booed so bad. It's like, oh no, these professional athletes are gonna get booed in away stadiums. How will they fucking deal with it?
Enough
Like, give me
time
a
has
break.
passed.
That's what they've been doing. They've been dealing with that shit their entire lives.
Enough time has now passed to where it doesn't matter, dude.
How many-
Bregman is gonna revel in that shit.
I guarantee you, Bregman has played on the road in the SEC
Yes.
in a
It's
much worse hostile
It's
environment
worse.
than going
It's worse
into
than
Dodger
this.
Stadium.
It's worse than Oxford. It's
Yeah.
worse. Yes.
Like what?
Yes.
And I think with that COVID Mickey Mouse year, the players going through it and
YMCA championship.
yeah, and now that
Fucking
there's going to be
softball.
there's going to be fans in the season. So yeah, they're going to be booed, but they're in a better headspace. You can just see these
100%.
guys. They just look drained last year.
Because despite all of that, we were one game away.
One
from
game
the
away.
World Series.
One game away.
Despite all of it, Correa, just pay him. Just pay
A
him.
blank check. This is what you do.
But and from what I heard click on the radio, sorry to interrupt you, but from what I heard click on the radio, it sounds like they want to.
Yeah.
I think that they want to because they realize they've got to, dude.
Well, this is one of the questions that we got.
Yeah, let's spring or walk.
We're not going into Q&A yet, but one of them said something to the effect of, "Do you think they make Correa an offer before the season started?" Correa said that's what he wanted.
He put him on a clock.
Click said, yeah, he put him on a clock. Click said that he's interested in sitting down with Carlos
And
and
that's
his
how they've
agent.
done business in the past.
Yeah, and dude, get that fucking deal done.
Just get it
I
done.
mean, lock him up. Everyone around, like everyone's acting like the Astros are fucking broke. They're not broke.
We have $70 million. We have
Dude,
$70 million coming off the books with Greinke and
Greinke and
Verlander.
Verlander next year.
Right.
And you see like the Mets get Cohen, and he's making all these huge buys. San Diego has been making a fucking run, and
Insane buys.
they're gonna have a fun team to watch. Honestly, I'm more interested in watching them than I am a fucking division rival.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm
Sure.
gonna be tuning into a lot of Padres games.
Oh,
this
yeah,
year.
they're
I'm gonna watch a
exciting.
lot of
They're exciting.
Dodgers and Yankees games
When
like I
you
always do.
when you're an organization and you commit to the team on the field, you commit to the city and the fans.
Yeah.
That's
Period.
the standard.
Period.
And that's what gets.
Dude,
And
when
I'm a
you
business owner. I know I'm
Yeah,
shilling some money
same.
out, but hey, if I'm committing
But
to
your
the team
brand
and to the
equity
fans,
is growing too.
that
man.
money's gonna come back.
Yes.
Dude, so who was it? Who was on the mound and threw a pitch, and one of the batters did something like this? Was it Framber? And Carlos goes
Yeah.
and gets in his fucking
was-
face, and you can just You can see
Margot and Framber.
It was.
Yandy, Diaz, and Framber.
It was Carlos though. That was such a great moment.
You can just see his
that
fucking
was on,
teeth.
That was on the mound. Yes, that was a great moment.
Fucking speech in Spanish.
Yeah,
You're our
dude.
motherfucking guy. And they asked him after the game. They're like, "What'd you say?" He goes, "Oh, I just told him he was our guy, and you got to go out there and get that." It's like, dude, I would have paid $100. I'm sure a lot of people would to have a fucking mic on that pitcher's mouth
for
during
sure.
that fucking.
For sure. It gets the double play to get out of the inning.
It was probably all in Spanish too. I'm sure.
And then the guy that was talking shit ran to second base, and Carlos threw a ball like right over the top of his head.
Dude, and here's the thing too about Carlos. Los, who I've met one time, and I love Carlos, by the way. Just like, he is the guy, dude. He is the guy that is. There's something special about him in a sense that whenever the lights are the brightest, he not only like emotionally revels in that moment, but he fucking executes.
Yeah,
bro.
he shows up every time.
And that has been the case since
You can say he carried us,
hitting 2 bombs in the same game against the Royals.
Yeah.
Who knows how far that team could have gone?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, dude, they could.
the Royals won all that year. They won it all.
Dude, if we won that, good chance we could have gone on and won a World Series. Great chance.
We could have been the Nationals.
I don't know.
We could have been the
Mad
Nationals.
Bum that year was possessed. Mad Bum was
That was not the
So
same
was
year.
Keuchel.
Not the same year. That was the year after.
That was the year, right?
The Royals lost that
Yeah.
year, and then they came back and won it all the following
Exactly.
year.
Who did they play that year?
Who did they play in the championship?
They played the Mets.
They played the Matt Harvey Mets. You're right.
When the first baseman sailed it on the play.
But
Yeah.
bottom line, Carlos has just every time, man. Every time. Well, how many postseason homers does he have? Like almost 20?
God. And 4 of them are walk-offs.
That's what I'm saying.
In the post.
In the post.
You can literally
Or is it
say
3?
So like,
him
look,
and George are Mr. October.
look, if he
4. I thought it was 4.
that potential for Carlos to have that MVP level kind of season is there. So it's always been there. However,
He has to stay on the field.
I care the most about the postseason, bro.
Yeah.
Like so does and I understand it's a team. It's an individual game inside of a team game. Baseball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, one player can't do it for you. If they could, then the Angels would be world champions every year. You know
That's
what I
a
mean?
quote.
And like,
That's true.
one player cannot do it for
Yeah.
you. However, Carlos has that factor because of the position that he plays. Like, man, that is my guy.
Yeah.
And I will take him. I'll take him over anyone.
I think if you're a sports handicapper and you're looking at players that, okay, this player's in the lineup, this player's not, Carlos Correa is almost worth a full win when I'm handicapping a series in October. Like that guy himself,
Sure.
if he's healthy in the lineup,
Yes.
he's worth a full game when I'm trying to handicap a series. And we saw it, and I wrote about it in a blog. I was like, teams and even individuals, all of us in the backyard, you're right, you're in the backyard, you're the shortstop, it's 3-2 game 7 of the World Series, I'm hitting that home run. That's Carlos Correa. Teams search and spend years of draft capital, millions of dollars to look for an elite shortstop, and you have one right in your lap, homegrown. You have to pay him.
You spent a first overall selection.
You have to pay him.
You got to.
$208 million, 8 years. There it is.
There it is.
Boom. Jimmy
There
Click,
it
free
is.
advice. Put it on the Apollo bill.
There it is.
Give us some media passes.
And
there
he
it is.
really wants to be here too, I think.
Yeah.
And
He does.
I just really hope that they do get it figured out.
He's done a hell of a
Because
job.
if you look at Bregman, dude, we got Bregman pennies on the dollar, basically. Dude.
Think about it. You're getting
That was a
the
great
Verlander.
team-friendly deal.
You got the
Great
Verlander
deal.
and Greinke contracts off the books.
Right.
You have Bregman and Altuve, both very team-friendly deals.
Locked down for
you,
5 more
You
years.
pay this guy.
Yeah.
You
If
let
you
Springer
pay him,
walk, you pay this guy.
him.
You pay
exactly.
this guy.
Because you let Springer walk,
You have
I'm
to
of
pay
the
this
mind
guy.
that you let Springer
And if you
walk,
overpay him, yes.
Yeah, even if you overpay him, but just by a little bit, just work with what's in the market. I think that the Tatis deal kind of fucked it up a little bit.
They sent a president for the AAV. Yep.
And what sucks though is because Tatis hadn't even played a full year.
He's a stud. I'm a
He's a
big fan.
stud.
I'm a big fan.
Me too.
You're gonna be.
Me too.
I think you guys
I'm
are
going to
gonna
play
win
devil's
camp.
advocate, but he's going to look like Pete Alonso next year.
What? That's a take.
He's a really, really good player, bro.
No, he's
I
incredible.
agree with you.
I do feel it's a
You
little
can't-
premature.
But you can't say that it is, man.
But as an organization, you're locking a superstar in.
You are.
You're locking. That's what you got to do.
He's been a superstar for 140 games. Yes.
Yeah. You're locking him though. But as a fan,
Let's see how he continues.
But jersey
I've seen
sales.
enough of Correa to know what Correa is.
They had 4 more years with him until he even hit free agency. That's what's
arbitration,
wild about this fucking deal.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a crazy
they
deal.
have 4 years
so the
team
arbitra-
friendly. Yep.
Exactly. So if you're going to keep a guy for 14 years, I mean, he's 22 years old. He'll be 36. I'll be fucking in my 60s almost when this motherfucker's contract is over. Right? So you've seen so many guys kick ass, MVPs.
Right.
2 seasons later, they're like a mediocre player.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they vanish.
Right.
You know what I mean? They'll get fucking DFA'd.
But I think the Padres they built the team around. Look, they spent all that money and they're building around it. He's almost protected a little bit, right?
They started that shit with Machado.
Machado's been worth the money so far, though.
Okay, and and now that you've got him, so that's your. I mean, who else they got? Hosmer.
Hosmer. They got
Okay, so they've got
Chenoweth came up.
They got a great infield, right? Their pitching's got a little ways to go, but they picked up some great pitchers in that's off season. Okay,
They got Darvish, and then they got who did they get somebody?
Musgrove,
and they
good
got
pitcher. And then
they traded for Clevy.
Snell.
It's amazing.
And then they got somebody that's
quick note I'd like to make.
And they got Clevenger.
Isn't it amazing how all of these guys that were just kind of like, either fringe players or role players on the Astros have gone on to other places and become almost like stars? Look at Teoscar Hernandez.
Dude, it's incredible.
You know what I mean?
Even like when
J.D. Davis has turned into a good player.
Josh Hader.
Josh Hader's a star.
Colin Moran looked pretty good in Pittsburgh for a
Colin
while.
Moran. Exactly. Joe Musgrove. Really solid starting pitcher.
Velasquez. Yeah, he was like the first one that left.
Right.
After that 15
but
team.
that also just goes to show. Keuchel's still a good player, bro.
He's great.
He's a very
toss the fill around.
I still love watching him pitch. I like watching guys pitch that can't throw gas, and they had to locate their
It's
pitches,
so fun.
and they got a
Greinke.
It's a dude. Greinke used to throw 100.
I know. Greinke used to throw gas.
He throws 89. And then he'll throw an 89 mile an hour fastball. Then he'll throw an 89 mile an hour curveball.
Yeah, and that's gonna 90 mile an hour changeup.
Yeah, as a fucking hitter, that's gonna ruin you.
Yeah, he's so fun. He is so fun to watch. In that sense. But,
Well, he's a character, dude. When he sat down when he sat down on the grass when they were fixing the mound that game, I was fucking crying laughing. I think he was just sitting there in the middle of like a 9-game. I just wonder what's going through his fucking head.
No doubt.
You know, like, are these guys gonna finish this up? He goes, "Gee whiz, you got to get those calls, Blue."
Right. To wrap up on the Astros, I think that because we got to get Texans before I get out of here. I think that I'm more bullish on the Astros than I've ever been, and I mean that. I think that this year,
I love that.
You've got look at everybody. You've got so many guys that last year they had a chip on their shoulder. They wanted to prove people wrong, and I think that to a certain extent they did.
They were just pressing.
Yes,
they were. It wasn't like a swagger. It wasn't a chip. It was just like you were so angry I was pressing, and then you had a shitty regular season, and then they got in October, we're like, oh, we're finally here.
Right.
And then we saw them be the Astros that we've seen.
Right. But also, too, though, now apparently they're, fans are going to be in the stands somewhat at most of these places, and they'll still have some shit, sent their way on the road. But the fury is not going to be as strong as it would have been.
Not from like that
When the Astros showed
douchebag.
up in LA for the postseason last year, and those fucking dorks were standing out there with their misspelled signs in front of the tour buses. What did that one sign say?
You really showed them.
What did
really
it say?
showed them.
They were in
You
that
got
fucking
'em.
bus just going.
You got them, you fucking,
right here.
you fucking unemployed jerk offs out there with your Astros signs
Hours.
Yeah, because they care more about us than they do about their own team.
And what did that sign say?
We own their souls,
They
bro.
got to their group message like, I really showed the Astros today. We got in their
got 'em
heads.
good.
What did her
We
sign
sure
say?
got 'em.
She misspelled represented and it said repressed it or something.
Yes.
God, everyone fucking let her have that. What an idiot.
Just babies, man.
Yeah.
And then that's why I'm saying, okay, good job. Nice fake title. Nice fake title with your fake ring.
The Mickey Mouse Championship.
You're a fake champion.
No parade equals no,
You're a fake
championship.
Dodger guy.
You know what? I just want to... Actually, I'm going to send my sympathies to the Dodger fans right now because they've never experienced...
fuck them.
They've never experienced confetti falling down on them, champagne, walking the city and just feeling a real championship.
Yeah, they had to rely on the Lakers to do that for them.
No, they couldn't have parade either.
But
No,
They couldn't have parade either. But yeah, no. Like I said, super bullish on the Stros, baby.
100%.
Like, I'm so ready. That's the team. That's
the pulse of the city.
team. That team owns the city, bro. That is the team here. That is the flagship franchise. I still think that we're gonna compete for a long time here. I mean, we've still got, I hope Click continues to do the great things. I think what's the kid that we got in the international guy? Pedro Leon. Ooh, boy.
Superstar.
Oh, boy.
He can hit.
You know what I mean?
I think they should put Altuve in center field and let him play second base.
If Altuve, from what I've heard, he's still kind of had some troubles throwing to first base. From what I've heard, hopefully he's had that now figured out. But
That was a joke, by the way.
I think
for those watching.
But
Yeah,
well, I'm not joking. Though,
I think
so.
the bullishness is there, and the only question mark is the pitching. But the pitching's all they were in the
pitching was our strength last year.
They were in the biggest moments, the high leverage situations, and early on in the regular season, they failed, and that's fine. You're gonna have learning curves, but when the lights were the brightest, they stepped up, and that's what people don't realize with the Astros, that October baseball, when they play the Twins,
it's
everyone's
a
talking
different
about
game.
Exactly, they were talking about the Twins, and they're like, "Oh, the Twins gonna be the Astros in a 3-game," and I was
You
like,
thought they were going to.
I said the Twins were a wagon, and I was right because they made the playoffs.
They did have a good team.
What I was saying is
They hit more home runs.
in a Mickey Mouse season. Yes,
No, but they were like
champs.
Whatever you want to say, on pace or whatever. So like hit more home runs than any team in history.
yeah, but my point is October baseball is different,
And Chicks
because
dig the long ball. Des?
Go ahead, Des. Go ahead.
the at bats and all this stuff that you've accumulated. And we talked about it, all these home runs. This core of the Astros, they've had almost logged like 200, 300 at bats in October itself over the last half decade.
It's amazing.
That is bananas.
It's amazing.
Bananas.
And there's something that has to be said for that. So the name of the game is, look, get to the tournament.
Yep.
Just get to the tournament, and then it's anybody's ball game.
Exactly.
So we get to the tournament. I just don't see anybody. The A's got worse.
Yes.
The Angels, they've got Mike Trout, they've got Rendon, but their pitching is still meh. The Mariners, they've got some pieces, but they're on the ride. The Rangers,
Yeah. We're gonna win the West.
we're gonna win the West. We should win 93 games, 94 games. I really think that's possible.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a good number. I think the and we'll segue real quick. And I don't know if you know this, but Jack Easterby just came into the studio.
Oh,
We got Jackie live here.
Jack's here.
Oh, Jackie's here live.
Wow.
The shit show of the Houston Texans.
Wow.
We are
What is this y'all are doing in here? Where's Cal?
A little sermon for us.
Where's Cal? Hey, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, baby. Hey, we go out there and we get that victory.
Victory.
Victory. Victory. Hey, you at home. Victory.
Deshaun Watson, you
That was really funny, by the way, man. Those
You like
little
those?
skits that y'all do.
Yeah, we'll make some more.
They're funny.
Matter of fact, I think on the 24-hour stream, Brian and I, who plays Cal, I think we're gonna like cook breakfast together or something, or
We're gonna do something.
Gonna do like coffee, like a morning show. So
Dude,
it should be fun.
I don't know who made it, but whoever made the Netflix Jack Easterby picture was hilarious. Like it looked like a Netflix special, and it just had
it
him
was
on
like
the
the
stage.
poster.
Yeah,
And
he was on his-
it said Jack Easterby. Now that's funny right there.
No, that's funny right there.
And it's hilarious.
It's
Like,
crazy that when we have to talk about a organization in the National Football League,
yeah.
he is the top of the conversation.
It's
Like,
so crazy
where did it
because,
go
like,
wrong?
bro, what happened with the Astros was super, super, super crazy, right? Like something, and we were talking about this, and like I think that we were talking about like doing the documentary on that. I think I'm gonna do that. It's just that's gonna take years and years and years. In order for me to do that properly, it's gonna all these guys are gonna have to be retired, so we can talk to them and really talk to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that being said, as crazy as that was, in my opinion, that is not even near as crazy as what has happened with the Texans.
It's nuts. They have let a
It's bananas.
charlatan
It's bananas.
It's a fucking snake in the den, dude.
It's bananas.
You have to understand.
I'm gonna take a piss while you guys talk.
Yeah,
about
you go
Jackies.
ahead. You go ahead. You have to understand that what has happened to this football team is it has been infiltrated
Yeah.
by a David Koresh like cult type figure and Jim Jones type shit.
The problem
And
is
Cal McNair has drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, dude, he's in there. And that's the only person that he needed to get. And the two of them
That's it. That's
they're
all
making
you-
the decisions, dude. They're ignoring the choices of these committees that they have put together to select new employees, head coach, GM type things. And dude, they're throwing all the suggestions away because the two of them think they're fucking smart enough to do it on their own.
Well, I think that what it is I think Jack Easterby thinks that he has fleeced Cal. So therefore it's his team.
Yeah.
It is Jack Easterby's football team.
If
He's
they-
the most important person in that building right now.
If they make him president, I'm fucking done.
I mean, he
And
already
I've been
is
done.
though.
I've been done.
He already is though. And
No,
here's
but I mean, so president leaves, Jamie Bell leaves,
Roots. Right.
Bell. What am I thinking? Anyway, he's out. He's out. Right.
Right.
They hire another culture coach, on the-
Character coach.
character,
sure.
whatever,
Yeah.
on the back
Right.
end of that.
Who is a Easterby protege anyway.
So what does that make it look like to the public? Like, who's going to get promoted into that spot?
What's clear now is that they don't give a damn about what public perception is, really. I mean, you've seen.
Where do they get their fucking feedback is what I want to know. They have to know that everyone is off board,
They've got to know.
right?
They
Like-
know.
Like the superstars don't want to be there.
What
Ja-
I think
fucking-
has happened, and I'm sure that for those out there that have not read the Sports Illustrated article on Easterby, I really do implore you to do that because like it really does a good job of providing insight as to kind of how we got here, really with Jack and Cal and kind of just what the whole structure looks like over there right now. but the problem now that you have is that I mean which problem?
Yeah.
And
There's a multitude. of
there's a multitude of problems, but I think that really I've been a Texans fan. Let me just kind of explain where I feel because I'm going to have a little moment here. Okay. I've been a Texans fan since they were created. I was in the building night one.
When you beat the Cowboys.
I was in the building. What's that?
When you beat the Cowboys.
When we beat the Cowboys. Dad's a Cowboys fan, by the way. For those that didn't know, he's got some.
Heartbreak Houston. That's what
You know,
I bring.
in a strange way, I am jealous of you right now. You know, like.
Who would think Jerry Jones would have been a
Oh
stabilizing
my
figure
God! I would
of
kill
football in Texas
I would
right now?
kill for Jerry Jones right now. Like, and that's real, and it's sad to be honest. But like, okay, so back to what I was saying. I've been a fan of this team since day one. I've watched them nonstop. I love them, dude. This is they're probably, I don't know. I love all the teams the same, Astros, but the Astros and Texans, they're like just a little bit more special to me for whatever reason. I love my Rockets though. But, and what has happened here is I'm now as a fan in a really difficult position because I don't know how to not be a fan of the team. But at the same time, if we drive Deshaun out of town, and I'll get into Deshaun here very shortly because I think that's probably the main topic we'll end on tonight. But if it's Jack and Cal's fault, what has happened?
100%.
It's their fault. Okay. And whatever will end up happening because of it will be their fault. Okay. So if I lose this quarterback that I have waited for
God.
20 years,
How many
damn
dudes
near.
have come off of the carousel before he retired?
Right, exactly.
Dozens.
But if I lose my quarterback because of this weird like sexual relationship that Easterby and Cal McNair have, then
Next skit coming for you.
then I don't know how I can be a fan of the team anymore. because it's like if, or I mean, because I say that and it's like I don't realize a world like it's weird, bro. It's like a family. I compared it the other day to like a family member that's like a. I'd imagine being a Texans fan right now is kind of like, you know, and I know it's not as serious as this, but like I compared it to kind of like being a family member of like a drug addict or an alcoholic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's like. You're going to love your family no matter what. You're going to love them. But I'm just to a point that, like, if they continue down this path,
they have to help themselves.
I can't support them. I can't be, you know, complicit in this incompetence that they have created. And it's like, it's so infuriating, bro, because let's be honest. And this is going to be a similar situation to what we're now kind of seeing with James Harden, even on a greater scale, because when James Harden was here, everybody knew that he was great. We couldn't deny it. He was great, blah, blah, blah. Now he's in New York and everybody loves him.
Exactly.
Oh my God, he's a facilitator. He can do all this. His defense is actually pretty good.
He's left-handed?
Right, exactly. He's left-handed, exactly. So if Deshaun were to leave here, he will become the second coming of Christ.
Wherever he goes.
Wherever he goes, really.
And you know, I saw today.
Especially if he goes to the Jets.
Yeah. Oh God. They're a train wreck.
But you know, and they are. They're not really that much better than us. However, they really kind of are, because our defense, the reason we suck is our defense is the worst fucking defense in the history of football.
Me and Colin, when we sat on this table and talked about it, every time Deshaun Watson's your quarterback and on the field, you have a chance to win.
You have a chance to win the game.
And we talked about the losses, and Colin ran them down.
They had 10 games last season where they lost by less than 7. 10.
It's really crazy, bro. And like, you think about all the games that they won, like how many miraculous like comeback type things that Deshaun has done, that the defense is just blown like crazy. Like the Saints game was one of the most notable, the one from the year before last, first game of the season, where we couldn't stop, and they hit a 59-yard field goal or something. It was kind of crazy, but it was Monday Night Football, first game of the season. But like, you know, there's so many just situations
that
like
though, right? You always see Deshaun with an amazing comeback, and then you just see some miraculous comeback on the other side.
Here's the thing, Deshaun,
defense or special teams will fuck it up every time.
Deshaun is the defense. We really need a complete overhaul of the roster, damn near, except for him. Okay. If we get him, and here's where we're at now with Deshaun. I'm going to say that Deshaun has every right to be upset. Okay? Deshaun deserves to be upset. He's justified in being upset. He's justified. I think, you know, I got to believe he's justified in wanting out. Okay? However, you know, because you look at the situation, it's Cal, and this is why I say it's Cal and Jack's fault no matter what. Okay, it's their fucking fault, all right? Because they didn't have to tell him that. They told him that he was going to be involved in the process, and they went out of their way to tell him that, okay? And you know, whether or not he should be involved in that process is you know, a whole different conversation in itself. Right.
It's an organizational choice.
I think that, you know, it is, but it wouldn't hurt maybe to get some feedback or anything, but to tell him that he's going to be like, tell him all that stuff and then to lie to him.
Yeah. Go to Cabo.
Like,
we'll figure it out when you get back from Cabo. Meanwhile, they make
man? Like, really? That's a terrible look.
And Ribert touched on it too. He said, I think he was talking about the Rockets though, but he said, oh yeah, these guys won out. They won out, but they're in a contract. He goes, yeah, I'm glad to know that you won out, but you know, we'll fucking make that choice. We're the management, right?
Right.
But the Texans management is so fucking incompetent. They don't know what they're going to do. You got all these people talking about teams that are interested in Deshaun Watson already, and then you got everyone else.
It's nauseating.
And then you got everyone else saying, from in our house saying, well, that's great that they're interested. We're not trading him.
Who would not be interested in a franchise?
What happens if he doesn't fucking show up?
He could Le'Veon Bell.
He could Dwayne Brown.
Right.
Look what Dwayne Brown did, and then he went and won a fucking Super Bowl in Seattle.
Here's the thing, too, okay? Like, he did not win a Super Bowl in Seattle, I don't think.
Dwayne Brown?
He didn't. He wasn't on that team.
He wasn't on that team?
No.
Come on.
I'll look.
No, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't. He was traded Deshaun's rookie year, which was 2017.
Okay. I'm probably wrong about that.
It's okay.
But anyway, he went to a fucking championship caliber team is my point.
Sure. No, he's been in the playoffs every year, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's been in the playoffs every year.
Shit,
But,
even with his hand wrapped up.
but here, you know, just to kind of,
He doesn't.
He wasn't on it?
just to kind
He
of,
wasn't on it? All right, I got to go. I'll see you later.
just to kind of get back to this situation, okay? Because, you know, part of me, I've worked with Deshaun. I spent some time around Deshaun last offseason, right? Got to know him a little bit, you know, like, but I know his trainer real well.
Because you shot his videos,
Billy.
correct?
Yeah, my buddy Billy is a great guy, by the way.
Shout out, Billy.
Shout out Billy. But you know, just spending time around him, man, he's so impressive, Deshaun. He really is. He's so impressive. He's the consummate professional, dude. He's out there constantly just working and trying to get better, and he cares a lot. You know what I mean?
You see him with his head in his lap with a towel over his head after they squandered a big fucking lead.
Right.
It hurts.
Oh,
It hurts
God. Especially when you only have 17 games.
Sure.
And as
It ain't 162 games.
the
or
resident
60, whatever.
Cowboy fan of the Apollo family, to see it from the perspective of just as a sports fan, when he came out of college, you know, people were talking. I was like, this guy's a winner. This guy was at Clemson, beat Alabama, balling out. This is something
2 years in a row. Really.
This is what you look for. And I was like, this guy is going to be, you just got to build around him. This is what you've been searching for. Just build
Right.
around him. That's the easiest step for a front office was build around him. And look who looks great, you know, revisionist history, Rick Smith. Rick Smith's standing
I
there.
would take him, you know, and he still, in my opinion, wasn't quite good enough. But oh my God, he seems like just a
If
godsend.
he came back, it'd be
compared to-
the
yes.
godsend of the city.
Yes, for sure.
Can we have him back?
I think I know he was being interviewed. I
Well,
don't
he's
think
not
he
a
got
good
it.
culture fit. And
Right
he's,
now. Yeah, Jack Easter
Not
being
a good
culture.
Sorry,
fit.
culture. Sorry, the
Did
culture.
you drop a David Koresh line when I walked out?
did.
Okay,
I did.
That's pretty strong.
He is the NFL's David Koresh. He is the NFL's David Koresh, bro. And they're doing this for Christ. But you know what's really crazy is that I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Here we go. This is about to be a hot take.
He thinks that he has Cal believing that they're doing God's work, bro. I'm not kidding, though. I know it's so fucking hilarious because it's batshit crazy, bro. With an NFL team.
It's a reality.
They care more about the culture than they do about wins and losses. They care more as long as they're.
Ted Lasso alert.
It's true, though. I need to watch that.
It's a great show.
Very good.
I've heard it's
Very good.
funny.
Yeah.
I love that Sudeikis.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I love him. But anyways, so what I think that is happening is really it's a weird like mind fuck situation that has happened to where he has infiltrated the mind of Cal to where and Cal, just watching Cal talk, I mean, like, how could Cal, you know, understand really even how to be qualified to even own an NFL team? And
He seems kind of like a bumbling idiot.
well, you know,
Tommy Boy.
In the press conferences that he was doing the other day, his wife and him were out there giving out food and water and everything. His wife gives a 10 times a better interview than he does.
sure.
Like, what the fuck, dude? You're
I
the
just think
face
it's
of
a billionaire son that it was
God, he
protected.
hasn't had-
He's a bumbling idiot.
And it's weird though, because also at the same time, I gotta think too, if I was a billionaire, you know, I wouldn't want my kids to ever struggle.
No.
You know, it's
Exactly, you're gonna protect them.
I love them, and it's it's something that you can't, you know, you try your best,
Yeah.
but it's hard to have any kind of normal upbringing when you're a fucking billionaire.
Exactly.
You know,
And then a death happening, kind of
sure,
you know,
sure.
not expected, and you're now thrusted upon,
Right.
and you're one of 32 billionaires owning a sports franchise
but
team.
you don't have to keep it if you're not in it. And he pretends like he is,
Yeah,
but he's
I
not.
think that he realizes the power that comes with it, and also too, let's remember Janice McNair technically owns the team, but he's, you know, she's not. It's Cal's show. It's Easterby's show, bro.
it's Easterby show.
And what I'm concerned about is like, okay, you know, I mean, I'm concerned about a billion fucking things, but like, what happened? What is bad enough? What warrants his firing? If nothing has up to this point, what has to happen for him to get fired?
I don't know. You had data points where the Amy firing, right? You had Amy being fired and not being a culture fit, and then all this stuff leaking
That's
out.
just weird, and I don't really think even like, I don't know how much that translates to wins and losses on the field, but I mean, it's weird that she got fired.
And then
weird.
you had Andre tweeting about, hey, you need to get this guy out of town.
That's the biggest fucking red flag.
And you had
out
a
of all of them.
48-hour window, and I was like, if Jack Easterby survives this 48-hour window of Andre Johnson standing up for the city like he has his entire career and saying, this guy needs to get out.
Nothing good has happened since he stepped foot in the building.
Exactly.
And I was like, if there's not a decision in 48 hours he's not gone, this is never going to end. This is never going to end because you just had the biggest voice in the room step up and nothing was done. So I don't know.
No.
And so here's where I'm at now. I do think that Deshaun, I think that he's justified he's justified in his frustration, etc. He's not going to get traded. They're not going to budge. I do not see it happening.
That is a Ribbert caliber take.
I do not see it happening.
I hope it doesn't.
No, I know.
Dude,
I know.
love watching him play.
But look at this. Look at this.
But does he play?
Because does he play? Well, yeah.
That's the question then.
So
God, what a shit show.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. He's 25.
Does a franchise quarterback, not even in his prime.
Okay, but you got to think about the Texans now, guys. Think about Nick Caserio. Nick Caserio will look like a fucking bitch, pussy ass bitch, if they trade Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
He will look like he got strong armed.
Yeah.
He will never get another opportunity. He will lose all respect. You're just a fucking pawn.
On the first
You know
day of
what I
school,
mean?
getting his ass
Exactly.
kicked.
Therefore,
Lunch money.
Yeah.
he's not going to get traded because the Texans are so fucked regardless because if they're in a situation now, if you don't trade Deshaun, you know, and he sits, you pick in the top 5. If you trade Deshaun, you pick in the top 5.
Yeah.
If Deshaun buys in and plays, maybe we can compete. Maybe we can build something. Maybe we can grow a little bit. Let's see what happens. Just like you said earlier, Deshaun Watson gives you a chance to win.
100%.
Every game.
Every game.
Any game. That's why he's so valuable. Aside from Patrick Mahomes, I would make the case that Deshaun Watson is the second most valuable player in the NFL.
Single player, yeah.
Like if
Old man
you
Tom
did
Brady
a, if
still
you
has
did a
no say.
Madden fantasy draft, Deshaun Watson is going second overall behind Mahomes. Who would you take over him? Given age and potential and ability. He's 25. He's going into his third
Our producer says Carson Wentz. Jeez
Oh,
Louise. We got an Eagles guy back there. No, it's a fair statement. I think the biggest thing is the unknown, and it's gonna be really crazy to see it play out in live because it's never really been done before. You've never had a situation where you've had
The NFL owners do not want us to trade him.
oh.
Do you understand that if we trade him and that contract and that player being a quarterback, it's different. This isn't Jalen Ramsey. You know what I mean? This is not which he was able to essentially force his way. This is so much different than anything else that has really ever happened before. Because if he does that, then contracts.
He just signed a 4-year deal.
nothing.
You're
Yeah.
in the NBA now.
Yeah, you're the NBA.
You're
Exactly.
literally NBA.
Exactly.
Where it's a player-driven league.
Then contracts do not mean
Exactly.
anything. And that is a slippery slope. I mean, like, I'm all for player empowerment, etc., but also too, like, man, you know, Deshaun, if he wants to do that, then dude, that fucking hurts our team forever.
Yeah.
Like we're just the shithole armpit team, dude.
Yeah. Offered him $130 million and he walked away, left,
You know, so it's like
took it.
And I'm also of the mind that Deshaun, I think, may have some other people or sources or whatever kind of driving this, you know,
Narrative.
or desire inside of him. He's still a young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really young guy. You know what I mean? I mean, this isn't like Stafford. where Stafford had
did his
spent
time.
12 years there, you know, and or however long he'd been there. And now it's just like, okay, man, yeah, you've earned it.
Yeah.
JJ. Okay, man, you've earned it.
You've earned it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been through too much shit. Like, we just extended him off of his rookie deal a year early.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like,
That was
one thing,
before the
and I
halfway
hate
through the
this,
season.
and I hate this, and it hurts because I'm like I said, I feel for Deshaun, but I feel for me, man. I'm a Texans fan. I want us to win. Deshaun is my guy. You know what I mean? And he's supposed to be our guy. If we don't have him, we're gonna fucking suck.
Yeah.
For a long time. Again,
Yeah.
I don't want Trey Lance. I see all these people. I don't want these fucking jerk offs. Like, I don't want these motherfuckers, man. And he's gonna make you feel it every time you see him play. He is a Hall of Fame. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer. He's gonna win championships. Bro, and it's pissing me off because it's like,
maybe not
fuck,
gonna be
like
it.
all these, especially all these people that are even in Texans, like that follow the team and stuff. People that I respect, talking about like, oh, here's this package for Tua, or here's this package for Trey Lance, or fucking whoever the jerk off is from.
If he goes, what do you expect to get in return?
Justin Fields, fuck that.
You can search for Deshaun Watson
Fuck
and you
that.
have him.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna trade Michael Jordan? You know what I mean? You're gonna trade fucking KD? Like that is the comparison right now, bro. He is fucking dude. We wouldn't have won a game if we would have been blown out every single fucking game. Like, I make this. He's got Mahomes. Like, he's just good. He's as good. Like, I'll give you this comparison, for example. You put Mahomes on the Chiefs, or Mahomes on the Texans and Deshaun on the Chiefs for the last since they were brought into the league. I am very confident that the level of success that Deshaun would have in Kansas City would be as good, or if not greater, than what Mahomes has already accomplished. And I would have trouble believing that Mahomes would have done any better than what Deshaun has done here already.
You're right. They're the same caliber player. If they're in each other's shoes, the results are damn near the same.
Assholes that don't watch every game of the Texans think that I'm just fucking crazy. Fuck you. Watch the games. Watch the games. Watch the footage. Understand how much of a fucking disaster this is here in Houston. We are the worst run organization in professional sports in the fucking world, dude. Like, this is, it's like
Hard to agree.
It's weird and scary and crazy and just like, it's maddening to me because I've invested so much of my fucking time. Like, my Sundays during football season go to them.
Yeah, a full day out of the week.
That's what I'm saying. And so to see this happening, it's like, that's the thing. Like, I don't give a fuck about there's not enough draft capital even possible to be offered to the Texans that justifies trading him. And they understand that. The Texans, Nick Caserio understands that.
Yeah, he can't.
And you know what? To be honest, I don't hate Nick Caserio.
It's the same thing. We don't know.
I don't
Click
know
and
Nick
Stone. You have
Caserio.
to see the.
But I know that Jack Easterby hired him, so that makes
a
me
red
kind of
flag.
like not vibe with Nick Caserio, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like we have that issue. And oh yeah, by the way, this is kind of maybe something that not a lot of people know that I know to be a fact.
Breaking news.
Okay. What had happened with Deshaun, and I think that this is really driving a lot of the anger that is happening too right now in his camp and from him. When they had the conversation or whatever, when Cal and Jack, or I don't know if it was just Cal or whoever, reached out to him and said that they would include him in the process, Deshaun's major feedback was that he said, we got to stop doing this Patriot thing. We got to stop doing this New England thing. The New England Patriot, like the Patriot way, it doesn't work, is what he was saying. He said the reason the Patriots were so good is because they had the greatest quarterback of all time.
And one of the greatest coaches.
Right. Which is fair and believable.
100%.
Right? Okay. And so not only did we lie to him and tell him that we'd have him included in the process, but we fucking hired a Patriots guy.
Why was in Mexico?
Why was in Mexico?
Out of town.
Out of town. But you're included in the process.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're included in the process.
Right.
Go to Mexico. Go to Mexico, Deshaun.
And you gotta understand too. You gotta understand too the world that Deshaun comes from, bro. Yeah, Cal the cuck.
Yeah, yeah.
He is a
They fucking cucked him.
episode right there.
Like,
He came
Cal
over
the
and fucked his wife while he was at the grocery store.
Oh God.
I mean, seriously.
Oh my God, dude. It's crazy weird, isn't it? It's like, but the cock. But anyways, like I was, God dang, now I like even almost forgot what I was saying. Like, oh no, so we hired Nick Caserio. What I think that really upset him so much was that, like, you know, he's told that, and then we hired him, and then we hired another Patriots guy, and then it's now like
After a season
he
of
comes from.
heartbreaking
I
defeat.
remember where I was saying Deshaun comes from a different world than. Definitely a different world than Cal McNair. Deshaun kind of came from nothing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is just from a family dynamic and you know,
Socioeconomic.
socioeconomic, exactly. You know, and just had a lot of struggle in his life growing up and everything. And so, like, if somebody, you know, that you think is supposed to be in your corner and, like, you know, will go to bat for you, tells you something regarding your career, a pretty important
and
thing
then
regarding
just
your career, and then they
betray
just
you.
blatantly lie about it and do the opposite. That's gonna piss you off,
100%.
man.
Anyone.
And he's justified in that. However, I think Deshaun. I think that the Texans, and I hate saying this because I don't want to go against Deshaun, but I think the Texans should do what they're doing. Don't trade him.
It's a literal Cold War.
Don't trade him.
It's who's
Because,
gonna
you know,
send a nuke first.
Try to just you gotta hope that, okay, Deshaun, like yeah, you can stay bitter and you're justified in it, man. But like today they said he met with David Culley. Like, really? To like, why would you even meet with David Culley? Like, I don't buy any of this shit from the media right now, or don't dive into any of it. Let's just I guarantee you, Nick Caserio's sitting there like, I'm not budging. I have job security. Jack Easterby's my boss and he loves me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what his mindset is right now. That's so important to think about, bro. David Culley, those guys got job security because Jack Easterby's the boss.
They're Jack's guys.
He's the boss.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, yeah, no, we know we're gonna fucking suck. Okay, Deshaun, if Deshaun, like, and here's the thing too, like, regardless of what anybody says, Deshaun does not have any leverage.
No. I think both parties think they have the higher ground, and the Texans only have the higher ground.
The Texans have not. It's not. They have 100% of they control his future.
Yep.
In the National Football League, they do.
Yeah, but what if he doesn't show up?
Then he doesn't show up.
That's what you're talking about.
Then you're gonna suck no matter what.
Yeah, they're gonna suck no matter what. It's gonna look poorly upon him. But I mean, guys have sat out weeks and weeks. Not franchise quarterbacks.
Don't you think? Okay, I'm gonna say this though.
It'd be
I'm
the
gonna
first.
say this though, because you know sometimes there are things just in our lives and in our jobs that we don't have control over. You know, sometimes shitty things happen to us. Like, okay, Deshaun, if we wanted to, he's under team control for what, 6-7 years, including the franchise tag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
4
We
years.
control. He signed a lifetime contract with us, essentially. I mean, for the prime of his career. So, and we paid him very handsomely to do that. Okay, like being a guy my age now, 30 years old with 2 children and a family, like you pay me shit. You pay me $160 million. I'll do. What do you need, Cal?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want me to do what while Jack watches? You know? but that's pretty much like, you know, and he has it. And now, granted, his skills and his talent have earned him that.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have earned him that.
100%.
But, okay, so are you going to really take it to a point now, Deshaun, to where you're going to let stubbornness potentially, you know, I don't know if stubbornness is the word.
Is he the guy that's going to sit out? Or
Are you going to sit out? Because he's going to have to effectively retire.
Yeah. Well,
If the Texans stick to their guns, he will have to retire.
Yeah.
And we're gonna suck anyway. So like, just let him not play. We won't win a game, and we'll get the first overall pick the next 3 years, and we'll be back hopefully sometime. If Jack doesn't fucking trade him for second round picks because he thinks that it's just
The 2
God told him to.
The 2 looks better than the 1 because
Right, exactly.
the burning bush told him.
So yes, exactly. So it's. I don't think that, and everybody that's all just like the national media, fuck what national media says. Fuck Schefter, fuck all them, dude. Fuck them. Fuck them.
They all hate Houston
Bro,
sports.
because like they're gonna say, oh yeah, let's just trade to the Jets. Let's get their first round. There's not. You would have to give me 8 first round picks and your best 2 young players to even remotely impact my team the way that Deshaun is going to impact your team.
100%.
The quarterback is different. It's different.
It's going to be a precedent, and I think. And we have some questions from the fans too, and we'll rapid fire through them. But like, I think the biggest thing is that you're gonna. We've seen it in the basketball. Like you said, the NFL owners don't want this to happen because then they turn into the NBA because it's a player driven league.
Sure.
And we've seen Le'Veon Bell. We've seen him sit out. We've seen Jalen Ramsey force himself out, but we've never seen the franchise quarterback force himself out. Right. And so this next 3 months is going to be. I think it's literally the Cold War. Like, who's going to blink their eyes first? As we go into the Ask Apollo segment, we'll start with Roosh. We'll just knock him out.
Boy, Roosh. Shout out Roosh.
Shout out Roosh. Great.
Shout out.
I love Roosh, bro.
He's so freaking talented.
He's my friend for a long time.
He goes, what is Ben's favorite video editing project involving the Astros and then the Rockets?
The Astros is definitely
The Harvey.
the Harvey one.
Harvey one.
The when we won the World Series, that was the most special one. But I loved the Kendrick one from last season, bro.
Pretty sick.
The one where we were just kind of like the control verse. I love that one. That one.
Your art with those certain phrases when the highlight was second.
And then the Rockets one was definitely the 2018 series right before we played the Warriors, the Chris Paul series.
Yeah.
I mean, I made one for that, and that one was really special. Did a lot. It did a couple million views across all platforms, and it was just a blast. I love both those videos. I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
Just because they bring me back.
This is from at Cards Astros. They're asking us, are we messing up making Paredes a reliever instead of letting him develop into a starter? Colin, you want to take that first?
I think it's important with the young guys to keep them where they're comfortable, right? Developing someone into a starting pitcher. Actually, Ryan Presley talked about this on Stros Across the Globe, George's podcast in the Apollo Network. He said it's 2 different ball games. I mean, you're not bringing you don't get to get into a groove. You have to come into a game with the guy on third and 1 out, right?
Yeah.
So being a reliever and being a starter is totally different. It's hard to say when do you start developing a guy to become a starter. That's something
that's a relief pitcher,
up to coaching. Yeah. Does he have the endurance for it? I think is really the main thing.
It's hard to tell, but I think that guy's just. I was hoping to see him become our closer.
I could see that happening.
And also too, I love his fire, dude.
Yeah,
he doesn't blink.
No,
the moment's never too bad, and you see him all over. He had that welcome parade back in his home.
Did you hear the gunshot in the background of it? By the way,
he has the champagne. He's just chilling. He has this hero parade, and then he has the videos, and he's back home, and these videos, and he's on this plot of dirt, and he's just playing baseball like a kid. He's just having
himself a
great
filthy
time.
I love Anoli.
God, he's awesome.
But Anoli, I think is more suited.
Yeah, I think he's a pin guy.
And I think that he'll have a great career there. Honestly.
This is from Michelle Neat, friend of the program, big time friend of Apollo. What programs do you use, Ben, to edit, and can you make an epic 2021 season video?
I'm thinking about it. For the 2021, I probably will for the Astros. I'm a Final Cut guy. Personally, I use Final Cut Pro because I use Mac everything. I use iMac Pro for, I've got it upgraded to the RAM. I think I got like 64 gigs of RAM in. Actually, no. Oh, I take that back. No, I have 112 gigs of RAM in there. Yeah, I spent a good amount of money on upgrade. My computer flies. Yeah. but yeah, no, I use Final Cut, and that's, that works for me. I think Adobe is the pretty much the gold standard in the industry right now. But however, I've come to notice that Final Cut can do everything that Adobe can do. It's just more preference, really. I'd like to learn more Adobe, and I understand the basics, but Final Cut, I just came up on that, so it's just I'm more comfortable with it. But it's really just a preference thing for certain editors. But yeah, Final Cut is my go-to editing software.
This is from Astros fan UK, George. What's up, lad? What's up, bruv? He goes, how...
That was so organic and natural.
That was great.
Bruv. What do you think the Astros should do about center field for the season? He goes, I worry it's a big weakness as it stands. Also, kudos once again on the incredible video last postseason. Look forward to the World Series champs when you'll be putting one together this November.
Man, I appreciate that a lot. The center field is the biggest question surrounding the Astros, I think, right now. Now, here's the thing. Here's my take. If Miles Straw can bat ninth and hit 230,
that's a great number.
Oh yeah, 220,
220, 230.
That's what I'm saying. Just get on and work a lot of walks.
Yeah.
Have a fair amount of OBP.
Lean into pitches.
Miles Straw gets on base, it's a double.
That's it.
He just
That's
needs to
it.
get on base. It's a double.
When he's on base, he's a fucking weapon.
Yep.
Bro. Sure.
Even that.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll take that.
I've never had a glove, though.
Could you imagine getting asked to fill George Springer's shoes, but only being asked to hit 200?
that is literally it.
It's and I think that we're gonna find out quick.
Yeah.
Because I think that what's going to happen is we'll be 40 games into the season, and if he's hitting in the 100s, we're going to have to do something about it. Either whether it's the lead miss or I don't even know if that's an answer. We're going to need to probably bring in some
McCormick.
new or whoever.
Or go get a guy. I mean,
Right.
there's some free.
You got to figure
But
it out.
Miles, if you've noticed, he doesn't shy from it.
No, he doesn't.
I think
He doesn't, but that doesn't help him hit.
Yeah, it doesn't help him hit, but I think
We need him to hit.
he's gonna have that. Okay, he's gonna have that chip on his shoulder that we've been talking about.
He's a scrappy ball player, all right?
Sure.
So we talked about this a lot. Confidence, I think, it's not going to hit the ball for you, but it's going to keep you in it.
Right.
You're going to go up there and give it what you got every time.
If he can have Jake Marisnick offensive production, I'd be okay with that.
yeah, he
he
essentially
does not have Jake Marisnick's glove, though.
No, he
No.
does not. But he's
Not even close.
He's faster.
Dude,
fast as shit.
yeah, that's
fast.
you can't T-speed.
No, you cannot.
You can't, and that's
a weapon. I mean, he
Yeah.
is right. If he plays 150 games, he can lead the league in stolen bases.
Yeah, I think
He's
so.
that fast.
This
that
is
fast.
from our boy Brian Lima, who's doing the Lima Lounge right now with Vanessa from KPC R2. He goes, do you see the season as a make or break year for Forrest Whitley? And will anyone challenge Ryan Presley for the closer role?
I do for
we
Whitley.
just touched on both of those things.
I do for Whitley.
You
I
think it's
that-
make or break?
I think that when is it?
He's 23.
Exactly.
I have 2 more years
Exactly.
of Forrest Whitley figuring
But you
it out.
got to sure. I will too. But you also got to think, okay, well, what are your expectations for Forrest Whitley then? Because last year, before the 2019 season, I believe, he was the number 1 pitching prospect in baseball.
Correct.
Right? Okay, he's far from that now. And I think that the reasons he's far from that are kind of just things that we're kind of out of our control. Yes. Like I think that
He got bad luck with that the PED
Right.
overall suspension.
Yes,
That
yes,
was a bad break.
yes.
The
And
injury and COVID.
Right. But we were expecting, and we have been expecting, and I still, part of me is hoping for and confident for, I mean, I got to be hopeful for it, is that he can be the ace of our staff one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'll give Forrest Whitley as much rope as I can because I have no choice and because I want him to succeed. But it's a make or break in my eyes from a standpoint of, is he going to be a star or not?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Sure. He's got to make his debut this year.
I mean, with the way things have been going, I mean, thankfully, most of our arms are young, but pitchers get hurt, right?
Sure.
And so you may have guys coming up and down. I mean, look at how many times did they bring up CNL Perez?
Yeah.
Right.
Is CNL Perez better than Forrest Whitley?
No.
Not
Okay,
on-
you know what
not
I
on
mean?
paper.
And he was up and down the whole time with all these pitching injuries, right?
Right.
So maybe that's the shoes that Whitley will fill. When he gets up here, though, he's got to show up. People expect a lot out of him.
Rightfully so.
And that's because it's been hyped.
But I
right?
think if we took this podcast and went back a full year and had it today, we'd be having this conversation about Kyle Tucker.
yeah.
Right, we did.
And
Yes, you're right.
Then we saw what Kyle Tucker did.
Tucker arrived in 2020.
Right. So I do think I'm in the camp of giving Forrest Whitley the benefit of the doubt
So
because
am
he's
I.
23.
So am I. But I want to see him come up and throw gas.
Yeah. But I do see how the fan base is upset because he was your first guy you picked, 18 years old, and he's 23 now. He's been 5 years in, obviously, with the.
God, he's been here that long.
Yeah.
Yes. And
We got him out
dude,
of San Antonio at
He
18.
has not gotten one game check, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
and
on. Not one.
With him, I think that what it has to be is he's got to be because he's. I don't know. I mean, behind him, there's how many arms? Francis Martez is back.
Yeah, he's back.
There's
Santos is about 3 years away. But
All these-
Martez, though, I mean,
Dude,
we've been
yeah.
talking about him for a long
he's
time.
still and he showed flashes when he was here, but we'll see how he does. But I think that Whitley's a wild card right now, and I don't want him to be. He has to play a full season wherever he's at. Like he has to be healthy this baseball season.
I think the perfect world is Whitley coming on strong after the All-Star break, and then you have JV coming back off Tommy into. I honestly think, and I think Pride probably won't, and Ego won't. But when JV comes back, he should be your John Smoltz closer. That's his second coming. If he wants to extend his career, become that John Smoltz,
Damn.
and come and be that guy out of the pen.
Is he
I don't think
supposed to be
JV
back?
would go for that.
I don't think he will either. But that's how
But
you
that's
actually-
interesting.
You can win. You can win championships.
Let him throw a fucking 100.
Exactly, because you're going to bring him back off Tommy for.
He'll be back.
But it's still
I think
Tommy.
I'm confident he will come. Yeah, it is. It's still Tommy, but it's JV.
Yeah,
Fucking
I agree.
Justin Verlander.
I agree. I just think
You know?
you could if we're in that situation where we don't have a closer and you're still babying him, that could be your.
I think, just to touch on this one more time, I think that with Whitley, in a perfect world, you see Forrest Whitley's situation turn into something that was very similar to what happened with Lucas Giolito, dude.
Yeah.
Like Lucas Giolito was this huge, big time prospect, right? And he was with the Nationals, correct?
I believe so.
Yes, and he had came up, he made his debut, and he struggled bad for a long time. And then I think he had gone through some injuries, like even in the minors, etc. Found a new situation, and now, dude, he's one of the best pitchers in the game
Yeah.
right now. I remember he was like no in the A's too in the playoffs, even for like through 6 or 7. I can't remember. I don't know. I can't even remember if the White Sox even won that game. But
I think they blew it. I think
they
his
might
name?
have
Shortstop.
blown it,
Yeah,
right.
that error.
But anyways, the point I'm making is that he was a prospect that had
Yeah,
immense potential and like just kind of it took time,
Yeah.
a long time. But let's hope for our sake and Forrest's sake that it doesn't take that much time.
Yeah, I think there's a situation where you can have this type of talent emerge, and I think it's all there, right? And you're going to have a history. Everyone knows, love him or hate him, Jeff. I think the city of Houston
Love him.
The outside baseball. He's been made to
Fuck
be this
them.
villain. But
Fuck him.
what did he say? With all the trades he did, who was his 2 untouchables the entire tenure he was here?
Kyle and Forrest.
Yeah.
And Kyle's already hitting. If Forrest hits, his history here in the city of Houston, it'll be Greek mythology stories because the two
Right.
guys that were always could never be touched, if they turn into players.
Kyle hadn't even hit his prime yet, dude. Kyle, I think
It'd be crazy.
Kyle's got all-star potential.
Yeah, I said it. I got on Twitter. I was like, if you put Kyle Tucker in the leadoff spot this year, he's an all-star. Book it.
Hot take.
I love him.
Book it. This is from. This is from Lil Bro Taylor. Do you think Correa is more or less inclined to re-sign before the season because of a possible looming strike?
Oh.
I think that the money is going to be the key situation with that. The strike is I mean, maybe that's something that I don't think that's going to really have any effect. I think it's rather he's got a number, him and his agent, they've got a number. Do the Astros match it or come close to it? That's going to be what it's going to come down to.
I do think we have a strike though. I think it's gonna be bad.
It's looming.
Yeah. I think it's
And if you're a player, would you want to get paid before that or after? I
Yeah,
I would
you'd
rather-
want to get paid before.
Yeah,
Lock it in
before,
before.
right? So there's your answer, little bro.
last question of the night, and we'll wrap up the pod. This is from Astros Future, our boy Jimmy. Question for Ben: how the hell did you develop the skills to drop some of those badass videos? And I think we touched on it with the.
Yeah, I think
with
so
the-
too, man. I think it's really just
McGuffey.
it's and I'll be honest, dude, because sometimes you got and I don't want to come off as chauvinistic or not, but like sometimes with you can put in a lot of practice. Definitely put in practice. You can always get better and you can learn. But sometimes like when it comes to storytelling ability, like it kind of a little bit of it is kind of just natural. Like you either kind of have it or you don't. Like I feel like there are some people that like when I went to school, for example, there were some people in my classes that knew Adobe and Final Cut and After Effects and all this stuff way better than I did, but they couldn't create even close to as much of a compelling piece of content as I could. And I think that there's a large thing that I can do that I found success is really finding ways to affect emotion. You know, pull on the heartstrings. If your piece of content doesn't spark any emotion, whatever that emotion may be, humor, anger, hype, sadness, you know, just sentimentality, whatever it may be, it has to spark some emotion. It can't just be like, in my game, it can't just be like an informative piece.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that like, whatever it may be, and a lot of those things are carried by multiple different things, whether it's the dialogue, whether it's the music, the tone, the images, whatever it may be, the timing, every frame matters in that sense. So it's a lot, but really just telling a compelling story is the key to making good content.
Amen.
And it always will be,
A freaking man.
you know. So I think that's really the
Load in
the
an
key to
applause.
Yeah.
Load in an applause at that.
Yeah. I think.
and you guys' story's just beginning, man.
I appreciate
You know,
that, man.
so
It's
this is-
exciting. It's
Yeah.
I appreciate this Kyle Tucker rookie signed card that will be given. I don't even know how we're gonna do. It's already been given away by the time you see this because
Right.
the 24-hour stream. But thank you so much for that.
Yeah,
Thank you for
sure,
spending
man.
time with
Nah,
us.
This is good, dude. I want to do it again.
You come on whenever, like
Yeah.
come in the studio. It's not really a studio yet, but it will be soon.
No, this is
But
great.
thanks for coming in, bro.
Oh, this is a blast, you guys. Like I said, I respect what y'all are doing. I love what y'all are building. Y'all are doing this, and it's not easy. It's not easy.
not.
but it's fun, and I think that you guys are just slowly but surely building more of this fortress here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just brick by brick, or whatever. Just, you know, to quote Jack Easterby.
Victory.
But yeah, man, fuck all you Astros haters. We're gonna win. We're gonna win the World Series again, and fucking don't trade Deshaun, Rockets. I'm just going with the flow.
Amen.
Yeah.
We'll sign it
Yeah,
off.
man.
Sign it off. Love you guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
Salute.
Bro.